Hello, sacred beings, and welcome to part 2 of the Power of Kabbalah. If you have no idea what I'm talking about, then please stop here and go watch part 1 of the Power of Kabbalah, and then come back here for number 2. But let's jump right in because we have a lot more to cover. So the last thing we said was once upon a time, before there was even a concept such as time, there was only one simple reality: energy. Yes, before time even began, there was an infinite force of energy. It filled eternity, infinity, no concept such as time, space, or motion, because according to Kabbalah, this boundless energy was the only reality. There was nothing else, just a pure, endless, all-pervading force of stillness. The nature of this force. The energy had one nature, a single will: share endlessly, give ceaselessly, bestow eternally. Share what, you may ask? Itself. The nature of this energy was to share its very essence. The essence and substance of this energy was infinite fulfillment, boundless joy, and limitless enlightenment. The energy is made of all possible forms of pleasure. Everything we've ever desired and much more is included within it, including personal fulfillment, peace of mind, relief from fear and anxiety, financial security, contentment, love, freedom, control, wisdom, happiness, health, everything positive that goes against the force of chaos. This is precisely what the energy wanted to share and impart. In Kabbalah, this ever-expanding energy of giving is also known as the first cause. The concept of giving and sharing requires two consenting parties. If there's no one to share with, how can sharing happen? There must be a recipient, a willing receiver, an actual desire to take possession of the offering for sharing or giving to take place. To fulfill its giving nature, the infinite force of energy created a receiver. In Kabbalah, it's called a vessel with which to share its essence. The vessel was not a physical entity, it was a force, an intelligence, a non-material essence. The nature of the vessel was an infinite desire to receive. For every kind of fulfillment and joy the energy radiated forth, there was a corresponding desire to be received by the vessel. Energy force is infinite fulfillment. The vessel, infinite desire to receive. Energy force is defined as the first cause. Vessel is defined as the first effect. Infinite energy and an infinite vessel, cause and effect, sharing and receiving, utter perfection, bliss beyond human comprehension. The vessel is our root, our seed, our origin, our source. All of the souls of humanity, past and present, were present within the vessel. Just as one human body is comprised of trillions of cells, vessel was comprised of trillions of souls. You and I were like the individual cells of the vessel. The infinite force of energy has been called God, Master of the Universe, Divine Creator, and many other names. Kabbalists referred to this energy force by the term light. Why light? So just as sunlight instantly expands and illuminates a darkened room on the side of a curtain, the light expands and illuminates eternity on the other side of the curtain that we talked about in part 1. As a single ray of light contains all the colors of the rainbow, the light contains all the colors of fulfillment that we talked about in part 1. This light that shines so brightly behind the curtain is the source and substance of all of the fulfillment that we seek. This light is what shines and illuminates the 99%. The light is not God, but an energy that comes from God. The light is not actually the creator, but rather his positive attributes and spiritual energy that radiates from his core. The human mind cannot conceive of the totality of the term God. It's enough to know that the light's joy and infinite fulfillment will completely and absolutely satisfy any and all of human desires. The infinite vessel was composed of two aspects, a male and a female, just like a battery containing positive and negative poles. Kabbalah teaches that these two energies in one vessel are known by the code name Adam and Eve. Adam and Eve were not just two people in the Garden of Eden. The phrase Adam and Eve refers to the male-female polarity of the one unified vessel. Kabbalists understand that the entire Bible is a code. It requires deciphering and deeper understanding. The Bible also has a subatomic level far beneath the surface level of the literal text. The principal reason for the hostility between science and religion, and why religion has failed to fulfill the desires of all people and bring permanent peace to our planet, is that we've been reading the Bible literally. We've remained in the Stone Age concerning its subatomic level. This subatomic level is called Kabbalah. On this level, we learned that the code term Adam and Eve actually pertains to the one vessel, which is itself an infinite consciousness force known as the desire to receive. The creation of the vessel, that is, the desire to receive, is the only true creation that ever occurred. No other entities were constructed. No other worlds were fabricated from scratch. The only thing that ever came into existence, the desire to receive all that the light was offering. This single act of creation occurred before the origin of our universe. Within this one act of creation, however, there exists countless complex phases. The light's sharing of its essence with the vessel led to a remarkable unity. In Kabbalistic terms, this profound unity is called the endless world. If we could actually perceive the endless world while peeking behind the curtain, it would be impossible to distinguish between the light and the vessel. For example, imagine carving a cup from a block of ice. Then imagine pouring water into the cup. The cup is the receiver, the vessel. The water is the giver, the light. Water fills up the cup just as the light fills the vessel. At their very essence, however, both the water and the cup are H2O because it was a frozen block of ice. One essence, but in two forms. This concept of sharing and receiving occurs within the one realm of H2O. One reality, but two intelligences. On this molecular level, they are indistinguishable. The endless world operates in a similar fashion. It is total perfection, the light sharing completely with the vessel, the ultimate manifestation of sharing and receiving, unity, harmony, infinite giving, and receiving of fulfillment. As the light continued to fill the vessel, attributes of the light were passed on. The vessel inherited the nature of its creator, its power to create fulfillment, to share fulfillment, and play an active role in the ongoing process of creation. Because the vessel inherited the nature of the light, a new desire arose within the vessel, longing to express what might be called the DNA of God. To be the cause of its own happiness, to be the creator of its own fulfillment, to share fulfillment, to control its own affairs. The vessel could not express its creator's gene, so the vessel no longer experienced infinite fulfillment. That was a problem. Infinite fulfillment was the reason the vessel was created in the first place. Bread of shame Bread of shame is a Kabbalah's term for expressing all the negative emotions that accompany unearned good fortune. A down on his luck man who is forced to accept charity from others is said to eat bread of shame. He has a deep-seated desire to earn the money needed to buy his own bread. He desperately longs to be in a situation where he can feed and support himself, not depend on the generosity of others. The vessel had it all in the endless world, except for one thing, the ability to earn and be the cause of its own fulfillment. Bread of shame prevented the vessel from experiencing absolute happiness. The situation was certainly not the intent or thought behind creation. There was only one option: remove bread of shame. But how? As long as the vessel did no more than receive, it remained unhappy. So what could the vessel do to remove those awful feelings known as bread of shame? There was only light and vessel unified in the endless world. Perhaps the vessel could share with the light, but the light had no desire to receive. The light itself is an infinite sharing force of energy. The solution? The vessel stopped receiving the light. Kabbalists called the vessel's act of pushing back the light resistance. The moment the vessel resisted the light from filling it, the light constricted itself, creating a vacuum, a single point of darkness within the endless world. The infinite had given birth to the finite. It then gave birth to the concepts of time and space as we understand them. People of science had detected the cosmic echo of this explosion and have dubbed it the Big Bang. That bang was actually confirmed by the NASA satellite. Astrophysicists said it was like looking at God. Actually, it was more like looking at the vessel's first effort to remove the bread of shame. Before the universe came into existence, there was nothing. No time, no space. The universe began in a single point. This point was surrounded by nothingness. It had no width, no depth, no length. This speck contained the whole of space, time, and matter. The point erupted in an explosion of unimaginable force, expanding at the speed of light like a bubble. This energy eventually cooled into matter, stars, galaxy, and planets. The universe was created out of nothingness from a single point of light. This nothingness is called the endless world. The endless world was filled with infinite light. The light was then contracted to a single point, creating space. Beyond this point, nothing is known. Therefore, the point is called the beginning. After the contraction, the endless world issued forth a ray of light. This ray of light then expanded rapidly. All matter emanated from that point. Birth of a universe. Like a loving parent who stands back to allow a child to fall so the child will eventually learn to walk, the light withdrew the moment the vessel said, "Thanks, but no thanks. I'd like to learn to create and share some light of my own." By withdrawing its radiance to create a point of emptiness, the light gave the vessel time and space in which to evolve its own divine nature through the act of finding the light. This microscopic point of emptiness, this newly formed speck of space and time given to the vessel, is our vast, star-studded physical universe. That is a lot of space to give someone. But I put notes here that say, when we are reborn, we lose our memory. We want to re-find it by ourselves, find a way to return to the light. At our death, we realize we want the light back the easy way from source, the give and receive way. Astrophysicists, scientific research led to conclude that our entire physical world appears to be sustained at every instant by an underlying sea of quantum light. Let there be light is a very profound statement. Origin of the universe in Kabbalah is its emphasis on light, universal sea of quantum light. The possibility of connections between this field and some of the fundamental properties of matter necessary for a physical universe to exist, such as inertia, gravitation, and the stability of atoms. To recognize light as an initial act of creation is an insight as ancient as the book of Genesis. The light that is our origin is also the source of our breath and the ultimate goal of our striving. To provide the vessel with the opportunity to create its own fulfillment, the endless world was disassembled and transformed into a picture puzzle. By allowing the vessel to reassemble the puzzle of creation, we, the vessel, become the creators of our own fulfillment and cause of our joy, thus fulfilling our deepest desire and most profound need. The vessel was incapable of creating and sharing in a realm already radiating light. It was essential that an area of darkness come into being so that the vessel could transform from a passive receiver into a being who genuinely earned and created light and fulfillment. Which brings up the 10-dimensional curtain. To conceal the blazing light of the endless world, a series of 10 curtains were erected. Each curtain further reduced the light, gradually transforming its brilliance almost into darkness. These 10 curtains are 10 dimensions. And there's a little diagram of the dimensions. The top dimension, the brightest realm of light, closest to the endless world. The bottom denotes the darkest dimension, our physical universe. The only light in our darkened universe is the pilot light that sustains our existence. The pilot light is the life force of humanity, force that gives birth to stars, sustains suns, and sets everything in motion, from beating hearts to swirling galaxies. The endless world is a realm without time and space. Therefore, the light had to create them. This occurred automatically when the light was hidden by the 10 curtains. Light exists on one side of the curtain, then darkness must materialize on the other side when a curtain blocks out the light. If timelessness is the reality of one side, illusion of time is created on the other side. Perfect order on one side of the curtain, chaos exists in the other dimension. Wholeness, unity on one side, then there is space, fragmentation, laws of physics on the other side. God, reality, and truth on one side, godlessness, atheism, and reality on the other side. The one infinite vessel broke into two distinct forms of spiritual energy. The male principle, Adam, separated from the female principle, Eve. So feminine, masculine energy. It's all making sense now, right? These two segments then shattered into countless pieces, creating male and female souls. The lesser sparks created the animal kingdom. Sparks smaller than the animal kingdom formed the vegetable kingdom, fragments of matter and energy that make up the cosmos. Everything is a portion of the original vessel. Adam had become atom, A-T-O-M, or more precisely, Adam became the proton in an atom, while Eve embodied the electron, positive, negative, sun and moon, masculine, feminine. Everyone's souls were part of the first infinite soul that split and shattered. That's why I say we are all connected. According to Kabbalah, everything in the universe is its own spark of life, its own life force. The only difference between the soul of a rock and the soul of a rock star is the degree of the intensity of their desire to receive the light. The more light an entity desires and receives, the greater its intelligence and self-awareness. Because the vessel shattered into pieces, each individual spark of the soul now has someone to share and interact with in order to accomplish the process of creating light and reconnecting all the puzzle pieces. You are a spark of the original shattered vessel. Your very essence is desire. You desire light. You desire happiness, wisdom, fun, fulfillment, peace of mind, well-being, and a whole lot of pleasure. All of these elements of light were hidden away so that you could become the cause of its illumination. Our universe is built of tiny, vibrating, string-like loops. The 6 dimensions that lie just beyond our perception are known as the upper worlds. The upper world is the 99% realm. When we elevate ourselves and connect to the higher world, we bring lasting positive change to our lives. The key to connecting to the Creator and having our prayers answered is knowing how to connect ourselves to the upper world, known as the 99% realm or the higher dimensions. The realm of the 99%, 4 key attributes of the light that we inherited and need to express in our world in order to remove dread of shame: being the cause, being a creator, being in control, and sharing. In our physical world, these 4 qualities merge into a single trait relating to human behavior: proactive. All of the traits of the vessel of humanity expressed in a single word: reactive. Reactive means being the effect, being a created entity, being under the control of everything, and receiving. Reactive behavior: human desire to receive. Original desire that was created in the endless world. Greed, selfishness, self-indulgence, anger, energy, and the like. Reactive behavior is any reaction we have to external situations: resentment, jealousy, pride, low self-esteem, the good old-fashioned hatred. 99% of our behavior is reactive by design. Our essence is the desire to receive fulfillment. Our consciousness is built on reactive, impulsive, instinctive desires. Rising above this consciousness is genuine spiritual transformation. The meaning of life. Let's go. The mission of the vessel is to transform itself from being a reactive force into a proactive force. This is the ultimate purpose of life. The reason for our existence, the meaning of our lives, our way back home, the path to endless fulfillment, the secret to removing dread of shame and expressing our godly DNA. True definition of the term spiritual transformation is the 4th principle of Kabbalah. The purpose of life is spiritual transformation from a reactive being to a proactive being. When we react to any external situation and events, we are an effect, not a cause. Reactive, not proactive. Without any personal growth or change, we are not creating new spiritual levels of existence for ourselves. When we allow outside forces to influence our feelings, positive or negative, we have surrendered control. When we exhibit self-centered behavior, we are not sharing, but instead receiving gratification for the ego. Whenever we react in life, whether in anger or with pleasure, the energy we feel is a dangerous direct connection to the 99%. This is the light the vessel first received in the endless world. This light gives us a burst of energy. It was also this initial glow of light that gave birth to dread of shame. The vessel rejected this light because it was received in a reactive manner. Whenever we behave reactively, we are denying our inherited godly nature. Our soul then replays the original act of resistance and stops the light from flowing. The gratification or pleasure we drew was not created through our own proactive efforts. Something external was responsible for our fulfillment. Reactive behavior produces no light. Reacting to his natural instincts produces no light. Transformation from reactive to proactive reveals spiritual light. Resist desire to receive. Our positive traits do not flip on the light switch. The light goes on only when we identify, uproot, and transform our reactive negative characteristics. Resist your urge to react. Do not get frustrated. Do not become impatient. Do not get angry. The line is there to test you. So this is, I only reading the highlighted, where you're in the grocery store and there's a huge line in the grocery store. The line is there to test you and to give you an opportunity not to react. If you do react, the situation controls you. The situation becomes the cause and you are the effect. This has nothing to do with being polite or having good morals. It has to do with you. We are a species of receivers. That was their creator's intent. Motivated to take action, people must receive something in return. The purpose of resistance is getting you closer to the light so you can receive. Stop your reactive desire to constantly think about yourself. The transformation will serve your interest. When you stop thinking of yourself and you stop your receiving, the light then thinks about you and you can start receiving everything with no fear of losing it later. Each of us has the power to bring fulfillment to our lives by transforming our natures. When enough of us reach that level, the world will be overwhelmed with an unimaginable infusion of light. So there's two choices in life. React to a situation, resisting the light, and then darkness of the 1% realm, or proactively resist our desire to react, connecting to the 99% realm. Number 2 removes bread of shame, clearing the way of the light, clearing the way for the light to fill our lives. The instant we resist a reaction, we have transformed a particular aspect of ourselves, which happens to be the purpose of our existence. Automatically, you'll link up to the 99%. The appropriate measure of light will radiate forth, which is the 5th spiritual principle. In the moment of our transformation, we make contact with the 99% realm. This is the formula. Changing reaction to proaction works like this. Number 1, an obstacle occurs. Number 2, realize that your reaction, not the obstacle, is the real enemy. Number 3, shut down your reactive system to allow the light in. And then 4, express your proactive nature. Moment of transformation takes place during steps 3 and 4. This is when you rejoin your soul to the light of the 99% realm, which means you are now in contact. The emotions you will feel. So this is an example of that. Obstacle, your best friend blows up at you or somebody blows up at you. Number 2, realize the reaction is the real enemy. Your feelings of being upset, angry, and hurt are your real enemy, not your friend who blew up on you. Number 3, shut down your reactive system to allow the light in. Let go of all your emotional reactions. Instead of shouting back and ending the friendship, take it all in, even if you're not to blame. Just let your friend vent. What matters is not who is right or wrong. What matters is your decision not to react. The 4th step, express your proactive nature. You are now in contact with the 99%. The emotions you will feel now are your next set of actions that will be rooted in the light. Automatically, positive feelings and behaviors will come forth. Surprising positive change in the external situation that was confronting you. Your best friend will respond in a way you never dreamed possible, or an enlightening piece of information concerning your relationship will suddenly come forth. Each of us is born into this world with enormous talent, but most of us, this talent remains untapped because we've been playing the game of life, without really knowing how it's supposed to be played. Kabbalah most definitely gives us rules, but without imposing constraints on our daily experience of the world. It presents a set of universal spiritual laws that liberate and empower us in body and soul. These are the 13 Kabbalistic principles, which we will talk about throughout the book. Each of us comes into this world wearing a blindfold, like I mentioned, like forgetting everything. Before we can continue to learn the rules of the game of life and truly act on them, we must first remove the blindfold and find out something rather important. Who is our opponent in the game of life? Negativity constantly pulls us down, no matter how committed we are to breaking free. It's built into our nature. There is a counterintelligence within us constantly sabotaging our efforts to change things for the better. This second voice convinces you to put off your lifestyle change until tomorrow. We came into this world to change our nature. That's the deal that was struck in the endless world. We, the vessel, would no longer receive true and lasting fulfillment unless we removed bread of shame, unless we transformed our reactive nature to proactive. Real change is so hard because we are faced by an opponent in the game of life. Inherited the DNA of God, vessel wanted to earn the light and be the cause of its own fulfillment. What we really want from a game is risk, challenge, and even the possibility of losing. It's the test of our ability. We had it all in the endless world except for one thing, the ability to earn, deserve, and be the cause of the fulfillment that the light bestowed upon us. So we rejected the light in order to become like the light, to become the creators of our own fulfillment. We wanted the opportunity to play the game of creation on our own, to risk losing season after season, lifetime after lifetime, for that one chance to win it all and bring home the trophy. Only then could we ever possibly know genuine feelings of accomplishment and happiness. Only then could we truly maximize our power to be proactive. Without testing us to the highest possible degree, the godlike proactive seed within us would never fully blossom. We must train ourselves mentally and emotionally so that our divine nature can evolve and manifest. This training satisfies our need to earn and create the light in our life and eradicate the bread of shame. The vessel needs to express its inherited proactive nature to remove the bread of shame, to be challenged, to make that transformation from reactive to proactive, meaningful, worthwhile, and complete. We need a powerful opponent to test us. The opponent is the unseen cause of chaos in the physical world and in the human spirit. He is the voice that whispers, "Eat that cake now. Start that diet again tomorrow." It is he who arouses feeling of despair, pessimism, fear, anxiety, doubt, and uncertainty. Stimulates overconfidence, ruthlessness, greed, jealousy, anger, envy. The opponent is the voice that says, "Go and do it," even though we know we shouldn't. The opponent is the voice that says, "Don't bother with it," even though we should. Even when we want to apply resistance in our life and stop reactive behavior, our opponent talks us out of it. His name is a code word for our ego. And our ego, the true opponent, includes every form of our reactive behavior. So, I'm going to stop here because I just don't know where to stop. But we're going to get into the ego, how to be more resistant, to bring more light in. One more part, and then we'll have all the secrets of who we are in the universe. But I hope it's all making sense. Please let me know your thoughts below, and I'll see you in part 3.